Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. I'm Dr. Jacalyn-Kerbeck, and our show today is the Mallorca Connection, where we're going to continue exploring how understanding shame and guilt can help us when we look at our own behavior. This is part 2, and joining me is the star of our show, Mr. Roland-Friedl, who is literally rolling along somewhere in his motorhome in Europe, making time for us. We truly do appreciate him. Let's welcome him to the show. Hello, Roland.
Hello, Dr. Jacalyn. Great to see you again. Hello, and hello to our audience.
Hello, hello. Nice to see you again. And I truly mean that. I know that with your travels, many times it's difficult to get Wi-Fi, to get a good connection. And you certainly have a very busy and full life as a coach, speaker, author, entrepreneur, and as a broadcaster yourself. So thank you. And thank you again.
It's always a pleasure, and I can make it possible. I was a little worrying today, to be honest, because last night we had a heavy, heavy storm here, a lot of wind, but the network is still working. So all good, all good.
Fantastic. So, Roland, when it comes to this topic, before we dive into it, you've worked with major global organizations. You have trained sales forces. You've worked with men. How often does shame and guilt come up in a professional setting versus a personal setting?
Oh, there's no difference between a personal and a professional setting. Not at all. Not at all. Because actually, it has a huge impact about our behavior in our life and our actional results, because most of us had a kind of trauma in the past, and sometimes when we look back as an adult, nothing serious, but maybe when we have been a child, it was serious for us, or just big for us, because we have been so small. Most people are triggered by this, and in both ways, it has an impact. There's no difference between the private life and the professional life. Absolutely.
Okay, so there you go. Whether it's in your personal life or your private life, there's no difference. It still shows up the same way. So I can think in a professional environment, maybe you are not doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing at work. Maybe you're coming in, you're goofing off, maybe you're chatting with people, or maybe you're surfing the internet, and you know you have certain numbers to hit, or you have certain responsibilities, but yet you just keep doing the same thing. And what I'm wondering is there some type of inferiority complex, or is it a fear that's preventing you in what I just mentioned, in those scenarios, from doing your work?
Well, I strongly believe, and it's my experience, and I had many discussions with leaders all over the globe, is I don't believe that an employee, a team member in general, is lazy. I don't believe this. I guess almost everyone, there are always exceptions, of course, everyone starts in a job very motivated, very motivated. It's not about, of course, we all have to make money to settle our bills, but most people are starting a job very motivated, looking forward into this job, whatever kind of job it is. And the other thing is that there are always exceptions, but we always want to be part of a winning team, and we also want to contribute, because otherwise it's against our self-esteem. So we want to contribute somebody to something, to a team, to a higher purpose, whatever it is. It's very important for our self-esteem. But sometimes we are in a kind of a stuck state, because we are so scared of making mistakes. And depending on our experience that we had in the childhood, what happened from our parents' side or from our teacher's side when we made a mistake, yeah, was it a focus on the good things or on the things that didn't work? Yeah, did we get punished or not? Did we still receive the love or not? Depending on that experience, that's how we behave in a business. Is the same thing. So most people, when they're in a duck state, meaning they're not performing like they should, it's not because they're lazy. They're just, especially when there's a change going on, there's something new, a new task, or whatever it is. It's instead, let's say, trying to avoid mistakes, they don't move forward because they're scared to make mistakes, so they're not going forward. So it's not because they're lazy, it's because people are scared to make mistakes, depending on the experience had in the past.
Absolutely. And it's also very, very easy to have shame or guilt sometime in the future when you think about the opportunities that you didn't take. You didn't put yourself out there. Something came to you. Maybe someone offered you the opportunity to do something, to be part of something, and you didn't do it. And you look back and you have all these regrets and guilt because you didn't take that step.
Yeah, but you cannot change it.
Right?
What happened in the past, live it in the past. Live in the past. Focus on today, and maybe we have a plan for tomorrow. But live in the past. That's what I learned from my grandma. What happened. If you broke a glass, it's broken. Don't worry about it. It's broken. It is like it is. So why worry? And I remember you asked me several times when something happens to me, something breaks on my motorhome, or somebody steals something, and it happened. Yeah, I cannot change it. It happened. So why being focused on that and block myself? For me, it doesn't make sense, but most people do, of course. Yeah, it's not so easy. No? It seems so easy when I talk from my own life, my experience, but it was a learning process for myself too. It was a long way. It was a learning process on myself too. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So when we think about, I think there's something called a wheel of emotions. I know we've had a couple of people on our Talking Heads platform show it, and it's a graphic of a wheel and then their emotions. And if some that are considered to be negative are in one place of the wheel. So shame and guilt would be negative emotions, as far as I know. And when we feel this negativity, it can definitely have an impact on how we are showing up, how we're responding, how we're even making further decisions, because we're not making them from a place where we have a clear mind. We're kind of weighted down with this negativity. What do you think?
Yeah, but first of all, I learned many years from my teacher. I distinguish between primary emotions and secondary emotions, because some people are mixing emotions and feelings and what it is. So I would like to start here so that people don't get confused. I think that all emotions are positive because some of them don't feel good, so we want to avoid them. But they're giving us a feedback. All emotions are giving us a feedback. Number one. So when we look at primary emotion, what the primary emotion is I'm hungry. There's a primary emotion. I'm hungry. So the emotion gives me a feedback. I have to eat. The intensity of my hunger gives me feedback if I should eat immediately. If I'm so starving, or maybe I can eat after the show, for example. Yeah, or for example, when I feel pain. Yeah, when I take something and I hurt somebody. Yeah. The pain gives the other person a feedback. Of course, it doesn't feel good, but the pain is positive because it gives them a feedback and said, get out of the danger zone. So escape or counter-strike. That's a primary emotions. Yeah. And then we have secondary emotion. Secondary emotion is when emotion comes up and we are going to interpret the emotion. Meaning, for example, when I take a stick or whatever, and I would hurt you, Dr. Jacalyn, yeah, I'll stick you. So the primary emotion is pain. The pain gives you the feedback out of the danger zone. So getting away or hit me, okay, counter-strike. So the intensity of the pain gives you a feedback what you should do. You have to go to the doctor or not. You have to go urgently, or you can go tomorrow, or not at all. So the intensity gives you also feedback. But what you learned in the past is, because of the education system, is you're not allowed to hit me. It's not socially accepted. So what you and you also want to be brave and stark. You don't want to lose your face. You're also not escaping. So what is a normal reaction about this pain, this emotion, is counter-strike or escaping. But you are trained not to do so. It's not socially accepted in our society. So what you do is your mind comes into it. You don't have an immediate reaction about this emotion. Your mind comes in, and then you start thinking, why did he hurt me? Why did he do so? And why did he hurt me and not somebody else? So this is a so-called secondary emotion. You have an emotion about the emotion, and then you're fed up, you're angry, you're pissed off, or whatever. So that we have these different levels of emotion. So we have to distinguish between this. And the secondary emotion gives you a feedback about what's going on in your mind. So the primary emotion gives you feedback what you have to do, meaning, this primary needs: eating, drinking, shelter, security. Yeah, this part. And the secondary is giving you a feedback about what you're thinking. How are you going to interpret a situation? And that's why most people are stuck, and there's shame and guilt in we interpreting a situation.
So
did it answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So Roland, when this is what's going on inside of you, how does that shame and guilt manifest into health issues?
Well, first of all, I'm not a medical doctor, but I know that it's not good. For example, I give over my own experience. I was full of shame and guilt because what happened in my childhood, the sexual impulse. I feel ashamed. I feel guilty about many things, and I never spoke about it. So it was always here. I never brought out this anger. I never could be aggressive. I never could raise my voice and be loud and scream and shout about it. It was impossible for me. I was always trained to suppress it. And what happened, always when I had a kind of health issues, it was always my lungs or my throat. I had operation here, had operation here. So, and this was because I suppressed. I didn't raise my voice. And many people suffer from the same, especially when you have problem with your how you call it, respiration system, with your lungs, with your throat or something, it means that you don't raise your voice, you don't speak about what's in you. And I made the same experience. Absolutely, absolutely. But it has the different other aspect. We always know that that emotions, when you suppress emotion, it has an impact on your health, of course, on your physical and mental health. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely true. It's interesting because I've had, and thank you for sharing that, by the way, for your bravery and courageousness. I've had this ulcerative colitis for 35 years, and many times I've had people who are not medical doctors, not even in the medical field, try to psychoanalyze me and why it is that I have this. And so even when my life is really great and going well, and sometimes I'll have a flare up and I can't really identify anything that is going on that could be related to it. But people always have ideas about what they have. And so to me, sometimes I think it's I'm predisposed to having it. And maybe it's like if you have an old car, the car is not getting any younger. So if there were things damage that happened to the car when you first got it, it's still going to be there as it gets older.
This reminds me on a story when a man came to the doctor and had a knee issue on his right knee, and he's 50 something. I said, I have an issue, and the doctor said, "Hey man, it's okay. You're getting older." And the guy said, "I don't understand it because the other knee has the same age, but there's no issue."
So what was the punchline?
Sorry?
So what did the doctor say?
Yeah, no, it's just it's the story going on, because sometimes we have this excuse, we're getting older, and that's the problem for them. No, the other knee is the same age. It's not an issue. It's maybe it's something different.
Well, but you know what? I'll give you an example. So I teach spinning and TRX, and I do solid core. I do a lot of things with my wrists. And I'm always watching what my form is. But sometimes in the heat of the moment, I really push myself like a crazy person. Sometimes you listen to the music. So my wrist, it hurts. It hurts a lot all the time. So what I'm making sure is that I'm not compensating by using the other hand and the other wrist, because sometimes we do that, right? One part of us hurts. And so then we lean on the other side of the body with more weight or more pressure to take it off of the part that's hurting. But we have to get to the root cause of why is it hurting and what can we do about it?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm still trying to be in shape. I work out. We had this many conversation. I eat more or less clean. But what I found out of as I'm getting older, I have to invest more time in stretching than in weightlifting. Of course, I have to stretch much more, of course. But I'm as fit. But this age, of course, when we're getting older, we need more time to recover. It's easier to get hurt, of course, when we don't stretch enough. Yeah, absolutely. But everything is going slower. But the question is going fast a better way? I'm not quite sure about that. I don't know what you think.
When you say,
but I've been trained to go fast all the time.
You know what it is? Like sometimes I'm 61 today. I don't really think a lot about my age. When I think about my mother, she passed away when she was 84, but up until she was 80, she was playing tennis for an hour and a half, 2 hours in the blazing sun against people who were half her age. And she never said, well, I'm 80 years old. Some people might have said, well, that older woman, what is she doing here? But if you really are into it and you're passionate about it, I don't think you're necessarily thinking that, oh, because of my age, I should slow it down a little bit, or maybe I should back off a little bit. I think to myself, if I end up leaving this earth, let it be when I'm working out.
Yeah. I mean, what I feel, when I'm going to 60 this year, what I feel is that when I need a break, I go for a break. So I don't force myself like I was young and said, right with the conversation before about getting sleep. I don't force myself. I said, okay, I work 20 hours. I only go for 3 hours sleep. I don't do this anymore. So I'm more reasonable, more intelligent. I don't do this anymore because I know that I will regret it because my body's not in the same position like I was in my 20s. Of course, I do that. But I guess when we really take care about our energy and we don't how to say it, We don't spend it for nothing. Yeah, we don't waste it. It's all good. But coming back to shame and guilt, it's of course sometimes, how to say so. When I think about my life, shame and guilt was a huge part of my life, and I know that for many people, it's the same and still is there. And I guess it's so important to work on this and get rid of this, not get rid of it, but overcome to stuck in this state of feeling ashamed and guilty.
Yeah, because it doesn't do us any good. Now, here's a question I have for you. There's an old saying, I don't know if you've heard of it, but misery loves company. So I know of people, years ago, boo-hoo, doom and gloom, everything's bad. And, you hear that after a certain point, I'm kind of like, yes, I'm checking out of this conversation. I don't want to be part of it. But there are other people who like to surround themselves with people who have a negative mindset for some reason. And it's almost like, well, whose situation is worse? It becomes kind of a competition. And then they have their own community based on negativity.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the majority of the population in the Western world is, it's conditioned on. You get more attention when you are blaming about something or you have any issues. You get more attention when they say, "Hey, I have a happy life." People are jealous or they don't believe you because why the fuck is he happy and healthy? Because if he is so, I could be in the same state, but I'm too lazy. I sit in the sofa and watch TV instead of going to the gym or whatever. So, yeah, of course, when you get more audience and more attention when you feel bad. I might look bad, Dr. Jacalyn. I don't know, but in my childhood, I didn't get much attention from my parents for different reasons. But when I was sick, I got attention from my mom. I got some cookies, some extra cookies and stuff like that. And we're trained on that. Yeah. So when you're in a negative mood, we get more attention, from other people. But I found out in my very early 20s that this doesn't bring me to my goals, because when I surround with negative people, I will end up in the same state like they do. So I got rid of them because I know that it's not healthy for myself. And especially for my mental health, to surround with negative people. I got out of this, and that's why many people said, "Hey, Roland is weird. He's crazy. He's the black sheep of the family." And so because I didn't want to get involved in conversation like that, that everything is bad. I was always a solution seeker. Always.
Roland, a topic that I think really dovetails off of what you just said, and I'd love to have your opinion on this as a man. In a relationship or a partnership, how does it impact the other partner? I'm just going to make up a scenario. If one person in the relationship has a lot of emotional issues, or anytime something comes up, they need special attention. So you have to divert yourself from what it is that you're doing. Maybe it's your work, maybe it's your relaxation, because your partner wants a lot of attention because they look at things in a different perspective. Is that attractive?
No, I mean, to be honest, I'm the last person who isn't stretching out a helping hand when somebody breaks down. I do this, but then it's good, If somebody's always complaining and is in this victim state, feeling like a victim, it's everybody else's fault, it's everybody else, whatever it is, responsibility. I get away from it. I get away from it. This is energy sucking, and when I figure out that somebody, especially a partner, doesn't want to change, I'm gone. Because there's energy that. You cannot help somebody who is not willing to work on himself or herself, and sometimes we are really caught in this trap because we love the other person. We try to be patient or do this. I was the same. I was in a relationship like this, but otherwise, after a while, I said, no, I cannot stand this anymore. I lose my focus. I lose my health. I lose my joy. That's not good for me. I have to get out of here. And actually, what I also believe is I'm not responsible for somebody else. Not at all. I'm not responsible for somebody else. As I said, I'm always ready to help somebody. That's no question. But when I stretch out my hand and somebody gets up on their feet again, then it's their time and their turn to work on whatever is necessary to not fall down again. That's my point.
Now, thank you. Let's say that you're in a relationship and you're going and doing your work, you're meeting with your clients, you're working with men, and then at the end of the day, your partner says, "Oh, I need you. I need you so much. I don't want to do anything with anyone else. I don't want to have any hobbies. I just want you. I need you. You've been working all day." And this is the same story every night. I just want it to be the two of us. I want your undivided attention. Is that attractive?
I run away as fast as I can.
I can see you right now. I already knew the answer. I can see you sprinting away.
Because other moms have beautiful daughters too. Bye-bye. I'm sorry. No, because because the point is, when somebody has so high expectation on the partner, you never can fulfill this. That's not our job to fulfill our partner's expectation to make them happy. I'm looking for a partner who can be by herself, like I can be by myself, who is happy by herself, and if we are together, it's even better. But it's not working when we have this codependency in a relationship, and we always see this. And then what most relationships are built up on a deal: I give you this, you give me this, and if I don't get it, I'm pissed off. This codependency, there's a lot of stress. No, not for me. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like it takes all the air out of the room. And something else that actually I learned on this platform, I don't know if it was you who told me or Caroline Hewitt, but we hear people say all the time, "I'm looking for my other half. I'm looking for my other half." But what it really is, two whole people coming together and sharing, as opposed to you having half of what I don't have and you're going to fulfill me because I don't have it.
That's not working. Absolutely not. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is that two persons who feel lonely come together. That's not working, because the expectation is that the other person is going to make me happy, but it cannot work. It cannot work. If we look happiness in the outside, in the other partner, it's not working. Absolutely not. It's not working. But this was a learning process for me too, because I always have been in relationships. I mentioned I had a bad childhood, so I was seeking attention outside of my parents with a relationship. But one day I found out that's not working. If I need somebody to make me happy, oh my gosh, this is a mirror. I have to do a lot of work on my shit. Why I need somebody, or why I believe that I need somebody to make me happy. Why do I need somebody to love me or to get the attention? What happened in the past? What hasn't fulfilled in the past? Why is it? And how can I give it to myself? This was my learning process, going through all the shit and to my dark sides, and this was a hell of work, to be honest.
Now, here's something I really want to explore with you, because you and I have both been through divorce, and what comes up for some people is when you walk down that aisle or whatever it is, however you get married, and you make that commitment till death do us part, they have a tremendous sense of guilt because they made a commitment. Maybe it's a religious commitment, whatever it is. You made a commitment through sickness and health or whatever the whole thing is, that you're not going to leave. You're going to stay there. And meanwhile, you're really unhappy. But because of that guilt and shame, you don't do anything.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm not going to marry anymore. What I say to my girlfriend is that what I suggest and what I would love to do is to make an annual renewal. So there's not stress. It's just a year. It's just a year. I mean, it's working fine. We can renew it again for another year. But this eternity, all this Catholic shit, this Christian shit, we all know where it's coming from. It's because it's a different topic, but I know that women are wild, they're sexy, they have a lot of power, and men are so scared about this incredible power that every woman has inside that is not suppressed. So this old religion shit and marriage came to suppress the women power, so the men stand power. No. I'm not going to marry anymore. It's not because I'm not committed to someone, but as I said, it's forever. No, let's, the point is, I said to my girlfriend, when you go on a job and when you're hired on your job, you normally, I don't know, here in Europe you get 3 months. Yes, you have 3 months, and after 3 months they can kick you out without anything. Yeah, of course you get paid for the 3 months, but any benefits or any suffering. So 3 months. So you're there for 3 months and said, okay, they look at you, how you perform, if you're really delivering what you promised in the assessment. Okay, so that's how we do it here in Europe, 3 months. And so you give everything in the 3 months to keep the job. And I said to my girlfriend, we do this the same, but we do it for a year. Yeah, and so and then the other one has to say, yes, we prolong, we continue or not, and then you try to do your best every single day, because you want your partner, hopefully, to renew the promise for another year. For me, it's a more attractive and smart approach in a relationship, to put away the pressure.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love that whole idea of renewing. And here's the other thing, and I think this is a challenge for some people. If your partner doesn't want to be with you, why would you want to be with them? If someone says, I don't love you anymore, I'm not attracted to you anymore. And of course, what are the answers that come up? They have kids, the money issue. Where's one person going to live versus the other? I don't know, you figure it out. But if you're not interested in that person, or that person's not interested in you, it's time, I think, to reevaluate and do something else, as opposed to feeling shame and guilt about staying there.
Well, as I said, I don't believe in this eternity shit. If it's happening, and some couples really make it all the way along, fine, absolutely. But I guess that's not the goal. The goal is to have a good time together, to learn from each other, to support each other, and because I strongly believe that everyone comes into your life for a reason, and triggers you and holds you a mirror. You can learn something, whatever it is, in this reincarnation. And maybe after a few months, after a few years, it's okay to go in different ways, with all the love and all the friendship. I can love a woman without being together. It was a good time. I still love you, but we go in different direction. Why not? Why not? It's all cool. And if it's going the whole way, fine too. But we shouldn't put ourselves under pressure and do this and this and compromise on things that are not healthy. Because, as I said, for money reasons or a kid's reason, I believe this is just, to be honest, this is just an excuse. This is just an excuse. Being scared about being alone or being scared about what's happening next, it's an excuse. If it's not working anymore, try to fix it. Of course, it's not about running away. Try to fix it. Go for a mediation or for a couples coach or whatever. Try to fix it. But maybe the result is it's better when you separate. In love. Why not?
I agree with you. But now what about, I've heard people talk about this before, after everything I've done for you, after all the time I've put in, after all the opportunities I could have had, but I didn't, and you want to leave me, to try to use guilt to keep the person to stay with you.
Yeah, because the person who says so didn't love unconditional. It was expecting something in return, and this is what I call a deal. I give you this and expecting this, and this is not working. This is codependency. This is not love. This is not love. This is a deal. No. It's unconditional. Love is unconditional. And what I learned, maybe it might sound a bit weird, but when you think about this, Dr. Jacalyn, when you really love somebody, isn't it important that you get the love back from this person? I learned it's not.
It's not. No, it's not. You gave freely. That was on you. You made that decision, and you can't have an expectation that someone's going to give that back to you.
Absolutely. But the thing is that in our education system, we don't learn this in school. We don't learn about how to handle money. We don't learn how to build up a business. We don't learn how to communicate. We don't learn how to listen. We don't learn how to build up a balanced partnership.
You're right. We don't learn those things in school. It's crazy.
And we had no role models. Most of the time, we didn't have any role models from our parents.
Yeah, it's very true. It's interesting. If we were to open a school and we were to offer courses, what that would look like based on what the coursework was that we did in the past. I mean, geography, history, biology, calculus, all those things, as opposed to how to manage your emotions, how to take care of yourself, self-love. I mean, there's so many topics that could be courses in schools today that I think would really be beneficial.
Yeah, because the education system is based on to make you a person that fits into the system, that is working and consuming, working and consuming, working and consuming, working and consuming. That's the system, and the system is built up on shame and guilt, because otherwise it's not working. Yeah, I don't want to fail in school. I want to. If I have, I guess we have this conversation in part 1. When I have an exam in maths and there are 10 examples and 7 are good and 3 are wrong, then you have it in red mark, 3 are wrong, and you feel ashamed. Instead of saying, hey, cool, 70% was good. No, it's all the way around. That's how it built up the system. That's how shame and guilt, and shame and guilt holds you back in the system, because you want the love and the attention from the others. That's how the system is built up. And that's the wrong way. I strongly believe that's not, but it's a good way for a few people who rule the world, but for the rest it's not good. We're just dumb consumers, totally dumb consumers.
Yes, exactly. And I think that also goes to the fact that there are so many entrepreneurs and successful people who didn't go through the education system, who dropped out and said, no, I'm not following this process, I'm going out on my own. And I know just for myself, I do have a lot of education, but most of the skills that I needed to start this platform and keep this platform going, I had to learn. It wasn't that I was taught any of it in school. I had to actually go and learn how to do what it is that we're doing, how to put this platform together. And then you, the same thing. You have started your own platform. I don't think they taught you that in school, did they?
No, not at all. When I was in the corporate world and I was responsible for a certain department, and people came for a job, applied for a job. They're freshly graduated from university. I said, "Hey, man, you have a degree?" Yes. They had no fucking idea how the business runs. You have to train them from scratch. Absolutely. You just have a degree, but you don't have no idea how the business works or the company works or whatever it is. I mean, the point is, if you want to fit in the system and you become a medical doctor or lawyer, of course, you have to go to university because you need this. Otherwise, you don't get a license. But if you apply for something where you don't need a license, give a hell on the education system. Train yourself. Train what is really necessary to reach your goals. That's my advice.
Excellent advice, as always. Roland, please tell people about your podcast platform, and are people able to go ahead and register and book in, or how does that work?
Well, my platform is actually it's recorded. It's not live. It's Roland Media on YouTube, and I started I don't know what was now March, 9 months ago or something like that. With having deep conversation with men who do men's work, because I was on a men's festival and I found out that there are many men who want to fill the balls again, who want to really come back in their positive masculinity, to get full of energy, getting a clear direction. On the other side, there are some cool trainers and coaches who are experienced to support this man. So I said, okay, build up this platform and bring these two groups together. That's how I started, and it's just for the DACH region. The DACH region means Germany, Austria, Switzerland in German. And that's where I started. It's a lot of fun. I really love it. It's for free, so you just go on YouTube and you can listen to it. And what happened is the last months, actually since December, now there are more women on the platform than men, because a woman approached me and said, "Hey, I also do an amazing job. Can you interview me?" And many women came up with amazing topics. And yeah, I love what I'm doing. I love absolutely what I'm doing. I'm so passionate about it, to make this platform a better world. Right now, I'm building up a community on a platform that's called School, a community that's something totally new. bring people together, because when you're on social media, somebody is a content creator and creates content, and the other ones are consuming, like TVs or radio station. And in a community, there's not a content creator, so the community creates and interacts and supports each other. It's a different approach. So I'm building up this for me, it's the future, because I found out that the most successful companies in the world have communities around them. So I'm building up communities at the moment, and yeah, I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I'm learning and learning and learning. And to answer your question, no, I did most of the thing I did not learn in school. Absolutely not. Absolutely. So actually, to look back, my school, it was wasted time, to be honest. It was wasted time, to be honest. Because what I learned, when you look at maths, in my case, 1 + 1 is 2. When you go shopping, it's nice you can count or calculate. Yes, that's okay. But all this very difficult stuff we learned in school, or learning poems by heart, or history, you can Google everything. As you said, it's more about handle your emotions, communicate properly, building up a business, how to handle money. Most people have no idea how to handle money, and stuff like that is more important. Yeah,
absolutely. Roland, please let our audience know how they can reach out to you.
Well, the best is go to my website or send me an email. My email address is office, and then it's and then my name, Roland-Friedl. I will spell it for you. It's ROLAND-FRIEDL.com. office@roland-friedl.com. Feel free to contact me. I always love to connect with people, whatever it is. And to be honest with somebody asked me, do I need to have a problem to contact you? No, you don't need to have a problem to contact me. Feel free. It's all about caring, sharing, and connecting, and making this world, a better place. You're more than welcome.
And Roland, we have your website pulled up here. We're going to scroll down. It's available in German as well as in English.
Yes. This is
my
so-called
main, by the way.
Sorry?
Great picture of you.
Yeah, thank you.
So there's a lot of fabulous information that's here, and people can get in touch with you right here on the website.
Yes, and from this website, you can link to my business website, to my wireless life coaching website, and also to the men's side, and to other projects. Yeah, or to Respect Mother Earth or whatever.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, my friend, for 2 shows in a row. I really do appreciate it. Any final words you want to leave with our audience when it comes to shame and guilt?
Yes, when you feel shame and guilt, it's absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay. Acknowledge it, and it's absolutely okay. And then let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. It's okay to feel shame and guilt. It's absolutely okay. Acknowledge it, and then step forward and just be brave. And what I learned is being brave just means fear plus 1 additional step. So keep going. Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Thanks to our audience. Easter's coming soon, so happy Easter to everyone. Have a good time, and thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you, Roland. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you to all of our loyal viewers. In case you haven't heard, we're now on Roku worldwide, as well as Amazon Fire, and soon to be Apple TV. So we have a number of places where you can watch us. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is USA Global TV and Radio. And thank you so much. Our next show is coming up. It's The Listening Mentor. And we're going to be talking about, which voice do I listen to? The one that's going on and on in my head, that tape recorder, or the one that I feel in my gut that's telling me to do something? We're going to talk about that. And we'll have Caroline Heward, who is our resident in-house therapist. She's the Harley Street stress expert. Now we're going to turn it over to our sponsors. So thank you so much for everyone for watching, and also for our sponsors for believing in us and being part of this journey. We'll see you all again soon. Bye.
Women of the Caribbean and around the world, are you tired of the status quo? Tired of barely making ends meet? Tired of giving maximum effort for minimum results? Are you in need of change, a fresh start, a new outlook, a new perspective? It's time to break through. Join us along with women from around the world at the Empower Her Escape, a 5-day all-inclusive royal cruise to the Bahamas and Florida. Connect with world leaders and influencers and begin afresh your journey to more. Hear dynamic speakers with sessions on women in leadership, the importance of mentorship, how to start a business from the ground up, financial literacy, an integrated approach to wellness and wholeness, and so much more. Guest speakers include First Lady Anne-Marie Davis of the Bahamas, Her Royal Highness Katerina of Yugoslavia Lady de Silva, Her Royal Highness Queen Sekhothali-Mephena of South Africa, and Coach Max, Global Multi-Six-Figure Wealth Coach. Cruise packages include 2 nights at an all-exclusive resort, gratuities, taxes, and port fees, red carpet welcome and extravaganza, course materials, and a souvenir gift bag, flight not included. The Empower Her Escape Cruise takes place on May 15th through the 19th, 2024, departing from the port of Palm Beach, Riviera Beach, Florida. Hosts for this life-changing event are Coach Cherish Hollingsworth of Florida and Coach Mercy Gilbert of the UK. For more information, visit our website at www.empowerherroyalescape.com or call us at 954-203-6608 or email us at cherishresiliencecoach@gmail.com. Connect, collaborate, celebrate at the Empower Her Escape Cruise.
Hello, I'm children's author Diane Floyd Boehm, and I am co-host for several of the USA Global TV and radio shows. I joined because of the purpose of the USA Global TV and radio. They provide content for the viewers and listeners, an opportunity for people around the world to have their own show or even be a guest on an existing show. We truly believe in helping others get their positive message out to the world. We also have the opportunity for the listeners. You can watch on several platforms, and on YouTube, you can ask questions and even give a comment. We absolutely love it. I love being part of the USA Global TV and radio because I love positive messages. And who doesn't? And we need more of that in the world. We are a family, and we hope you will join us and become part of the family too.
This program has been brought to you in part by Zane Carson-Carruth, etiquette and protocol expert, international award-winning author, television show host, and philanthropist. Thank you to Zane, our official diamond sponsor for USA Global TV and Radio in partnership with E360 TV. Zane is the author of The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever, as well as many other children's books. She's also the television host of Elegance, Polished Demeanor, and Posh Living, seen on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson-Carruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating warm memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Bella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book, Bella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Bella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
To learn more about Zane, contact her through her website, zanecarruth.com, ZANECARRUTH.com. Order Zane's books and merchandise. Contact her about being a keynote speaker at your next event.